This is a recording that I made when I changed because of neglect of Dr. Shepherd at Warrior Square in Hastings, where I changed over to station practice. Right, and this is February 16, when I actually spoke to Dr. Dryden directly, and this is Public Health England, regarding how I was feeling. Right, and it actually states, after 3 months, basically, it becomes IgG positive, but in their machines that they test with, and they're not capable in their pessary dishes or what have you of finding your disease. Right, after 3 months, it goes into past and previous, even though you're feeling bloody ill. Right, and bear with me, right, you might just see my face, but this is a recording again that is time-stamped on my telephone records also, right, to prove, right, that I spoke to quite an eminent pathologist in Public Health England. When I can...
Can I speak to Matthew Dryden, please? Thank you. Okay. You found it before for me, because I found it this morning.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to look it up.
Okay.
My the actual manual book.
Oh, okay.
One moment.
This is Public Health England I'm talking to.
Hello, Dr. Dryden.
Hello, is that Matthew Dryden?
Speaking.
Oh, Matthew, I'm sorry to phone you. I know you're a busy man, but I'm a very ill man. I just wanted some advice from you.
Oh, right. How did you get this number?
Basically, in respects of, I've been to the tropical diseases in London,
Yeah.
and what have you. And I've also spoken various times to your department, basically.
What, in Bridgestone or Basing?
No, the same where you are now, station where you are now. Now, if I can, I'll keep it as brief as possible because I know you're a very busy man and you've got lots to do. Right, I was bitten, right, by something on the back of my ear last May. Right, and I doctored it with TCP, and the film fell off. I couldn't see what it was. I haven't got a partner anymore. She left me, and I put my head on the pillow after doctoring it with TCP, and I felt like something was running in my head. Right. So I tried to get to the doctors in the morning. I couldn't. So I went directly to the hospital the following morning, and the doctor, without really any analysis, had just handed me a box of doxycycline. Right, I took doxycycline for a few days, but terrible.
The day after you had a bite?
Yeah, this is the day after I had the bite, right? I took the doxycycline for a few days, and then I was in bed for 10 days with the flu, terrible flu.
Right.
And since then I've had, now bear in mind that I've done a full check on this, right, since last May, and I've got the symptoms of typhus, right, or spotted fever, right, or even Lyme's disease, because you have actually checked my blood for Lyme's disease and you never found it. But what I want to ask you a question is, it took 4 months actually, even though I'd written to the doctors and written to the hospital stating quite detailed that I'd been bitten by an insect, and in respects of the diagnosis of how I was actually feeling, it took 4 months, well nearly 5 months, for my blood to be sent to you. My blood was sent to you on the 24th of last September, right, for analysis, and I think you've done a 2 or 3 analysis since then, but they still come up with negative 4 lines, but they keep on coming up with positive for spotted fever, positive for Q fever, and positive for typhus, but they keep on saying it's a past and previous infection.
Right.
Now, prior to the bite, I hadn't seen a doctor for 40 odd years.
Yeah.
Right, and consequently, I've been going through since the May before last a series of terrible illness and sickness and one thing and another, and now I'm at a stage basically where it's hard to walk. All I want to do is go to sleep.
Right.
What I want to know, excuse me, it's quite emotional.
Yeah.
What I want to know is how come if it's a past and previous infection and I haven't been ill for 40 odd years, how come I'm feeling so ill now?
Right. No, I don't think I can answer that over the phone, really. I don't know the answer to that. I'd be very happy to have a chat to your GP about your symptoms.
I really,
You're depressed rather than
no,
active infection.
no, I'm absolutely ill. Absolutely
Right.
ill.
Well, when you get your GP to give me a call,
Yeah.
and then I can talk through all your other blood tests
Well,
you've had done, get through the serology.
Now, I know quite a lot of this nowadays is done by computer analysis. Right? Is it possible that the computers can be just passing it off as past and previous infection because of the 4 months or nearly 5 months that it took for my blood to be taken and sent to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't got your results in front of me, obviously, but if you've got IgG, which is a type of antibody, that usually occurs in infection that is more than 3 months old.
Yeah, well it would be, because it took 4...
But as yet, there's never been any typhus acquired in the UK. Have you been travelling anywhere?
No, I hadn't. I lived in Africa 30 odd years ago, and my doctor, which I've changed now to a different practice, kept on putting it down to me living in Africa 30 odd years ago.
Right.
Which
It's possible.
Well, you can't. You can't have spotted fever and not know about it. Not at all. I've spoken to half a dozen. Well, and typhus as well, and Q fever, so you can't have all these things in your blood and not know.
Another explanation, of course, is that this is some sort of cross-reaction, that it's not a specific antibody response, which is why it would be helpful if I could speak to your GP and just go through everything that's going on and whether there's anything more that can be done on the anti-infective side in terms of treatment.
Yeah, I've taken doxycycline, but it just doesn't, it never worked. It never worked at all.
So it does work for those infections, you see, so it makes it less likely that there is an active infection going on.
Yeah, well, there's definitely an active infection going on because where it bit me in the ear, right, I've had inflammation in my head, right, ever since. I've still got the pressure in my head from where the insect bit me. Right, and I've still got it even today.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, that's all right. I can tell you from what you've told me so far, but I'm very happy to have a chat to your GP if that would help.
Okay, I'll get in contact with her and get her to contact you if I may. Okay.
The recovery.
Well, in respect to, I feel like I'm dying. I'm sorry. It's really bad, really, really bad.
Right. Sorry.
So, okay, I'll get in touch with my doctor and get her to get in contact.
The serology and any other blood tests you might have done through the local labs.
Okay, thank you very much, Matthew. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, yeah, okay, so 3 months, it goes into IgG positive, which counts it in the pathology labs as past and previous infection, right? So you could still be very ill, but because of the length of time it took to do a blood test, right, it's counted as past and previous. Right, it's Dr. Dryden, basically. At this particular time, they knew a sweet Fanny nothing regarding HGA anaplasma. That's possibly the reason why doxycycline, which doxycycline is over 50 years old, people need to realise. This is HGA anaplasma is a new emerging disease from the black-legged tick. Consequently, trying to treat it with an old, antiquated antibiotic, right, is definitely not good. It's sort of behind the times. Let me just let you know, because I've done, because of my illness and feeling like I'm bloody dying, slowly, I've done a lot of research on this, right? Not just internet, I've done a lot of research. Right? The antibiotics that they actually give you, right, no matter what type of antibiotic, actually lowers your hemoglobin, right? So take note of this. If a doctor wants to, which nobody asks for antibiotics, they're given to you, prescribed by a doctor. I'll end this one here, and I'll be back as soon as I've got a little bit more focus, and let you listen to Dr. Agranoff at another tropical diseases hospital. I haven't, like a fool, I didn't take my recorder to tropical diseases in London and record the eminent Dr. Whitty, right, who again knew nothing about HGA anaplasma, right, so I'll end this one here.